This is also like top 3 parts of the game for me. Always loved this part. It's one of these parts that I distinctly remember me doing it like as a kid and being like I didn't understand it completely, but the whole like Zack reveal, I remember like blowing my mind. Well, see, that's the whole point, Nightfall. That's the reason that Cloud's memories are screwed up, because Tifa's been lying to him. Well, not the reason, but that's part of the reason why it's so bad. So it needed to be Tifa that told him that she's been lying to him. That's the whole... This part of the game is following a theme that's been traveling throughout the entire game of Tifa lying to Cloud, and it all comes to a final point here where she finally tells him the truth. If Eris did it, then it wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, she's hearing the live stream. It's that weird. Whenever like someone falls in the live stream, it makes that weird noise. True. She more of holds the truth. But there is one point where she straight up lies. I can't remember where. I can't remember exactly what it was. Something about her knowing something. I don't know. The way it's worded, usually she just is about to say something and then doesn't, so it's not really lying, but depends on your definition of lying, because I mean, there's plenty of times where she could have easily said something and she didn't, so. Oh yeah, the photo. I don't know if she really necessarily lies, but like, it's quite obvious that he's not supposed to be in that photo. And I think Cloud actually says, like, I was in the photo, right, Tifa? And she's like, well... And then she doesn't say anything. I think they probably wanted to do a little bit more with Zack in the game. But for one, it would have been a little confusing. It's better to just explain it all here. And two, they probably ran out of time, and that's probably why they just have Zack's family randomly in Gongaga. That you can go talk to him, but like it's completely optional. Tifa was worried about what would happen if she told him the truth, because she knew he was already on a knife's edge with being experimented on and whatnot. Talk to me, Cloud. Talk. Hello? There. That was weird. Yeah, like she's worried about the consequences, so that's why she doesn't tell him. It's not that it affects her specifically, but she's worried about what'll happen. No. No, Zack's parents are alive. They don't really, like, nothing, as far as I know, nothing happens with them at all except in this game, where you can talk to them. And they're just like, man, it'd be cool if Zack came home. That's about it. In retrospect, if Tifa would have just told Cloud at the beginning, then Sephiroth wouldn't have so much power over him. But I believe all of this would have still happened, even if Tifa told him. Because the reason that Cloud gives Sephiroth the black materia is because of the because of Jenova. Jenova can control him because of his Jenova cells and the reunion theory. So even if he knew, because like the whole thing with Cloud being like mind controlled and stuff, that isn't Sephiroth, it's Jenova. The reason that happens is because he has Jenova cells in him, and the Sephiroth that we're seeing is actually Jenova, not Sephiroth. So the Sephiroth has nothing to do with it. Sephiroth does very little in the game. He just summons Meteor. The whole Nibelheim thing is all Sephiroth, and he's the one that goes into live stream, becomes all powerful, and then Jenova goes and does all the other stuff. But in reality, he's just sitting in the North Crater summoning Meteor for the entire second disc. Explain the reunion. The reunion theory is the theory that anything with Jenova cells will all meet at the North Crater to... Hojo thinks it's to, like, rebuild Jenova. Like, it's all of Genova's parts coming together to rebuild the true Jenova. But really, it's just Sephiroth, Jenova doing Sephiroth's dirty work to get the black materia to summon Meteor. But the reunion theory is really just Jenova controlling everyone with Jenova cells. Anyone that has been given Jenova cells, Jenova has some power over and can make them go to the North Crater. Which is what happens to Cloud. No, the Sephiroth at the end of the game is Sephiroth. But the silver-haired, long-sword guy that goes around causing havoc throughout the entire game is Jenova. The only time you see real Sephiroth in this game is during the Nibelheim flashback and then in the crater, the giant dude in the crystal. Those are the only two times you see Sephiroth. And then the final battle is Sephiroth. That was probably one of the biggest reveals to me as a kid. I didn't get that the first time I played the game. First time I played the game, I didn't understand the difference between the Sephiroths. And I was like, I don't get how he can be running around doing stuff and in the crater. And then when I finally realized that was Jenova, it all made sense. I was like, now everything makes sense. The reunion, Meteor, like all that stuff makes sense now. No, they don't. They never come out and say that Sephiroth is Jenova. That's what's so great, is that you have to figure it out for yourself. It's one of those things that is more of an underlying thing. And it's great because it's not exactly mandatory that you know that to just play the game and enjoy it. But then when you go back, it's something that you can learn later that opens up the whole world to you and makes more stuff make sense. Yeah, there's certain things in the game, there's certain text in the game that when you play the game again, it seems so blatantly obvious to you. Like when he says, "Who are you?" You're like, wow, that makes total sense now. That he would say, "Who are you?" because it's not Sephiroth. And he says, "This is the end of this body's usefulness." Yeah. This is the great reveal of the game, though. I love this part when he takes off the helmet and you're like, what? It's pretty fantastic. And I think this is another reason why a lot of people miss the Jenova thing. Because this part right here is so crazy. You're like, oh my god, that was Cloud? And then you miss this next part, which is super important. Most people see this and they're like, oh my god. I love that audio cue too. Oh, it's so good. Right when he takes off the helmet. But a lot of people aren't even, like, they see this and they're like, oh my god, Cloud, you've been protecting her the whole time, this is amazing. And they miss the part where Sephiroth comes back and Cloud knocks him into the life stream, and that's why Sephiroth is in the crystal. I'm seeing some people confused about Sephiroth and Jenova. Do you want me to explain it, like, better? It's really easy once you know, once you understand it. Like, if you just put down a timeline, it makes more sense. Yeah, the guy. There's so many little details, like the guy being sick in the truck because Cloud gets motion sickness sometimes. Just leave Zack there, don't worry about it. Oh, he's carrying Jenova's head. This is my head now. That's Jenova that's talking to Cloud. I'm 99.9% sure. It only makes sense that it would be Jenova. It's the reunion starting, that's why she talks to him. So this is the important part I was talking about. A lot of people gloss over this because they're just like, you know, this is Cloud's big reveal, but this is also Sephiroth's big reveal. This is the final time you ever see Sephiroth. Because at this point, Cloud apparently goes Super Saiyan. And throws him into the life stream. And then this is the last time this is the last time that this guy in the black suit and silver hair is Sephiroth. He falls in a life stream and becomes that giant thing in the crystal. And then everything after this moment is Jenova. Sometimes it's hard because this game does a lot of flashbacks. But if you just look at it as its own timeline, starting at Nibelheim, it's Sephiroth up to that moment. Then Sephiroth becomes a giant dude in a crystal that you don't see till the very end of the game. And everything that happens in the game, from the beginning, from the Midgar reactor, all of those Sephiroths are Jenova. It could be Cloud's subconscious, but I doubt that. It makes perfect sense that Jenova would talk to him there, because it's the start of Jenova wanting him to go to the North Crater to give the Black Materia to Sephiroth. And no one else can talk to Cloud in his head except Jenova, because he has Jenova cells in him. So unless it's Cloud talking to himself, which I don't think he would really... I don't think he's that crazy. But maybe. Could be. But the way that it sounds like two different voices, so you would think it's Jenova. But it could be the real Cloud as well. Trying to, like, you know, it might be Cloud talking to Zack. It might be Cloud's crazy Zack mind, and the real Cloud's talking to Cloud's crazy Zack mind. How did Cloud survive from bleeding out? That's where the Jenova cells come in. both Vincent and Cloud are given Genova cells so that they'll live. Well, yeah, because Vincent gets shot. So yeah, both Vincent gets shot and Cloud gets stabbed, and Hojo comes in and gives them both Genova cells to experiment on them, and they both live. He tries the same thing with Zack, but Zack dies. If I remember correctly. Either that or Zack just dies. And that's all seen in Dirge of Cerberus, and it's also seen in the flashback in this game when you talk to Lucretia. But it doesn't show that happening to Cloud. You're just thought to believe that because when you go talk to Hojo, he's like, oh, that failed experiment. But yeah, directly after that flashback, when Cloud throws Sephiroth in the life stream, Cloud faints because he got stabbed, and Hojo takes Cloud to his lair, to his lab, and then Vincent comes and says, hey, Lucretia's mine. Well, you're such a jerk. You're experimenting on Dr. What's-his-name's daughter, and now you're experimenting on Lucretia's baby, who turns out to be Sephiroth. How dare you? And Hojo shoots him. And then he takes both Vincent and Cloud and puts Genova cells in them, and that's why Cloud is Super Saiyan, and that's why Vincent is a vampire. It was a different experiment, I suppose. Yes, Hojo's the true villain. That and Genova. Nothing would have happened if it weren't for Genova, but nothing would have happened if it weren't for Hojo either. Hojo's the reason that Sephiroth exists. Hojo's the reason that Genova didn't just die to the Ancients. Hojo's the reason that Cloud is crazy. Hojo's literally the reason for everything. Oh, my favorite part, the stretch. Never forget the stretch. My question was, how did Cloud survive from bleeding out until Hojo found him because he didn't have Genova cells in him or Mako's strength before that? It's like he was dying, and then he did the experiment on him to revive him. Same thing with Vincent. Vincent gets shot point blank, but then the Genova cells revive him. It's kind of like in every movie when a character dies, but then they like put robot parts on him to make him an android or whatever. That's basically what he does. Alright, we want Sid and probably... I mean, I don't think he died. I think he was dying. But yeah, it's important to note that Cloud did not have Genova cells in him yet, because he failed to get in a soldier. So it is pretty weird. There is really no reason as to why Cloud would somehow kill Sephiroth there. He just does. He's the protagonist. And that's why he kills him there. Junon. Or yeah, well, some have Genova cells, but mostly it's the Mako stuff in the pods and whatnot. Sephiroth gets Genova cells because reasons. Because he was experimented on while Lucretia was pregnant. I don't know if any of you have anything. I know you don't have anything. here. I want to go get more S mines. Or actually, well, I can get some. More importantly, I need dragon scales, which means grinding and not letting Cloud take damage. Think need anything else. In the new threat mod he does, but not in the regular game. The whole stretch thing is more of a he is now Cloud and he's escaped from Zack. But the actual game doesn't affect him at all. This is actually going to be a little challenging. I don't want Cloud to take any damage, but this stupid sandworm, sea worm thing, hits the entire party, so that's kind of unfortunate. Let me think here for a minute. I don't think I'll need that many. I should only need a few, and I only need enough to get past the Turks, and then I have infinite. So crap, who has steel? Nice. Actually wonder, wow, he only takes 12 damage, that's not bad. I actually wonder if I can manipulate him. Blackwing with the 2,000 bits. Thank you so much. Thanks for the explanations to some of the more confusing parts of the game. No problem, man. If you ever have a question, I love answering them. I'm not the end-all be-all. There's a lot that I don't understand, but I will do my best to answer any questions that you guys might have. Darn. And I just like talking about it, so. I really wish this game worked like Final Fantasy X, where you could get more than one item from an enemy. And I could just grind off of one enemy. Luckily, I'm pretty sure that's the only fight here, so I don't have to keep resetting when I get the wrong fight. Yes, I believe so. I don't think this thing can be manipulated. Run! Run, Sid, run! Welcome back, Mendo. We are about to go do Junon, but first I'm getting dragon scales. I'll get one more, because I can always come back and get more wild diamond weapons on the map if I decide I need them. Shouldn't be too bad, though. Dragon scales for a couple different things. I'll do one more. And then comes the very special boss. The one we've all been waiting for. Yeah, I believe in Advent Children it was, I thought his first name was Michael. Michael something. What's up, the sniper? How's it going, man? Alrighty, so I have a pretty laid out strat for carry armor in my head. I've been thinking about this fight since we started streaming today, so I'm not too worried. Who's not an ancient? Sephiroth? No. The only ancient in the entire game is Eris. And Eris' mom during the cutscene, there in the flashbacks. Sephiroth's just a normal dude. Vincent and Lucretia's son, who are two completely normal dudes. The problem is Hojo gets a hold of Lucretia and does some experimentation. Because Lucrezia loved him. Put that in your brain. Can you not? I'm just gonna bad breath all these fights. I could use Dragon Fangs, or Dragon Scales, but I got plenty of MP with Sid. Arjunan! Can you all stop attacking Cloud? Everyone attacks Cloud. Please stop. Yes. Sephiroth had pretty much everything wrong from the beginning. He thought that Jenova was his mom because he read Gast's reports. But he couldn't be further from the truth. He was just a normal dude. Basically, Sephiroth suffers from the same thing Cloud does. But Sephiroth takes it to heart. When the Jenova reunion starts happening and Jenova's like, everyone come to the North Crater, Sephiroth thinks it's like his calling to take over the world. I do not want to fight that. I do not want to fight that. I do not want to fight that. Hojo is pretty much the only person in the game that does bad things on purpose. Although, Sephiroth does burn down Nibelheim for pretty much no reason. So there is that. Like, as crazy as he is, that's still, like, obviously evil, so you can't really, like, say... You can't really make an excuse for that one. You can say, like, oh, he was confused, he thought he was helping his mom, and he thought Jenova was the right thing to do and everything, but burning down Nibelheim, he's just like, because these people are weak. It's like, okay, well, that's kind of evil. That's not really a nice thing to do there, Sephiroth. Yes, I do, Dr. Blackheart. That is step 1 of this fight. I'm not including Jenova. Genova's also inherently evil because he's an alien that wants to destroy the world. But that's pretty obvious. I'm talking about like humans in the game. There's only really one bad one, which is Hojo. Where's my thing? No mini tanks. Thanks. Alright, you need talisman. You need... nothing really. It's not much that really helps us here. All that really matters is magic defense. I'll probably give him the wizard bracelet, actually. This is what I wanted to level up lightning for, but unfortunately it didn't go far enough. Nice one. Nice moves. It's just the flesh wound. This upcoming fight might be a reset fest. It depends on how nice he is to Cloud. Kate Sith should block for Cloud most of the time, but he's also going to die very quickly. I'd also really like to not see a Lapis Laser, so this might be pretty reset heavy depending on what happens. If all goes to plan, this should be a pretty easy fight. But if he just like picks on Cloud too much, then we'll just have to reset. Which I feel as if is going to happen pretty often. Wow. Freaking double hit Cloud, Kate Sith doesn't block any of it. Jeez, how many times do you guys attack? What is this? What? Hello? He gets like 5 attacks? I've never seen that. He just attacked like 5 times. Yeah, and Kate Sith pretty much blocked all of them too, except the ones for Cloud. Those ones he was like, nah. Should be everything. Can we not? Look at me, I'm big muscular dude. Did you really just hit Cloud for 200 damage? What the heck are the chances of that? Trying to think my order of commands here. I think Kate Sith throws the Fang. Cloud uses Big Guard. Sid summons. Kate Sith throws Dragon Scales. Then Cloud and Sid use Magic Hammer. Or do I throw Dragon Scales until the arms are gone? I don't think the arms will be that much of a problem, so I think I use Magic Hammer first. Does Magic Hammer take 1 or 0? How much MP does it take? I thought it took like a really low amount, but I don't think it takes 0. So Kate Sith can't use it. I think only Goblin Punch does, right? That sucks that he uses like 1 MP, but Kate Sith has 0. I think he has 0, right? Because when you learn magic, yeah, he has 0. Okay. Great. Started with Lapis Laser. Yeah, that we can't have that. We literally can't start with Lapis Laser. We're gonna need him to just use physical attacks for a while. Like 2 or 3 turns he needs to just physically attack. If that happens, then we should be okay, because we should be able to do enough damage. And we should be able to get enough magic hammers out to stop him. How much MP does he have? I should check. I don't know how many magic hammers it takes. He has 200. Yeah, if you get rid of the arms, he uses nothing but Lapis Laser. So that's why it's important to use Magic Hammer before the arms go away. But you need to throw at least 1 Dragon Fang to lower the chance of arm grab from happening. You need to do damage to both arms. Yeah, if he's under 6,000 HP, he also only uses Lapis Laser. I don't think he actually uses Lapis Laser more if his arms are gone. It might just be because that's the only thing he can use. Alright, that's good. I probably shouldn't even summon this yet. Should just use Magic Hammer. I could wait to use this until after we get rid of the MP. In fact, I could even just have him use Big Guard to save Cloud from having to use it. Like, Cait Sith has nothing to do. He's actually gonna just defend. Try to stay alive. Yeah, it takes 3. How much MP does it get out though? Oh wow, 100, holy cow. Didn't expect that. That's pretty dope. Alright, dragon scales away. This is perfect. This is a perfect fight. Perfect. Yes, dragon scales are in vanilla. Everything that I'm using is in vanilla. Dragon scales are stolen from sea worms near Midial. This strat was so incredibly perfect. To all you people on YouTube that said Carry Armor was going to kick my butt, read it and weep. He did maybe 200 damage. Like, he hit Sid twice with Barrier. Did like 100 damage both times. Got absolutely destroyed. Now, what would be nice is if we could get out of here with Cait Sith being alive, but it probably won't happen. In fact, I'll probably leave him with the cover arm or the cover materia, because it's not a big deal if he dies. It'd be nice if he survived, but I'd actually rather keep the health on Sid. That later. Sucks that Cloud took a hit there. It's funny that the random battles are literally doing more damage to me than Carry Armor did. But that's because I've literally been planning that fight out in my head since the beginning of this stream. So it paid off. Now all that matters is Diamond Weapon and the Turks. And Diamond Weapon, I'm not that worried about. Like, I'm not that afraid of Diamond Weapon because he doesn't do that much damage. He's just annoying and has a ton of HP. But he doesn't do, like, a ridiculous amount of damage, so... The Turks are what I'm worried about. The Turks are absolutely... Like, they're fast, they're strong, there's not much to do to defend against them, and I want to get the steals from them. So it's going to be tough. Thank you, Cait Sith. getting close. He might get out alive. If these fights were faster, I'd give him the Cursed Ring to give him some defense. But I think he'd die. If I didn't play on active, it'd be fine. But on active, he'd probably die. I'd also have to increase the battle speed to max, which means they might get an extra hit. Yeah, the frogs make gun noises for some reason when the soldiers become frogs. I don't know if that's true in the original version or if it's just the Steam version that does that. I'm not exactly sure why that happens. This is going to be a struggle. I forgot about this actually. Kate Sith's definitely dead. But other than that, we'll be alright. If this manip hits. Okay. Yep, press F for Kate Sith. He has such a sad death animation too, like, look at that position. I just feel so bad for him. This frog actually does damage because he's not minied. He hit himself though because of the manip, so hopefully I can kill him before he attacks. Nice crit. Kate Sith is our second death, second casualty. Got the Shinra beta too. It's kind of cool. Alright. Looks like you get cover now. I ain't got no regrets. Alright, now for the famous cloud dancing scene. Anyone want to know where the cloud dancing is? It's right here. Just don't press anything after you take him prisoner. Then he sits here and dances until you hit circle. We'll let this play out for a minute. No regrets. I don't know why he says this either. I guess it's because he's claustrophobic or like, you know, getting sick in the submarine. But it's so, like, intense. Like, normally you'd think Cloud would just be like, I don't feel so good. But instead he's like, someone, please, I'm sorry, I can't take it anymore. It's like, geez, Cloud, calm down. Holy cow. I've been in the sub for like 2 minutes. Would you calm down? He's doing a little jig. The lack of space, the shaking, the roar of the engine. And then he, like, freaks out. Sid's like, I need to get you back in the air. And then Cait Sith falls over, I guess because he's dead. Alright, time for the super difficult, super intensely hard submarine minigame. I've heard from numerous sources on YouTube that this game is incredibly difficult and should not be taken lightly. I don't know which button shoots. There it is. I win. I literally just smashed buttons because I wasn't sure which one shot. Man. Almost lost there. That was tough. That was a real tough minigame. Sorry, I still don't know why anyone has ever had trouble with that. I've got numerous people that were just like, because in the Glitches and Oddities video, I said all you have to do to get the red submarine is lose the really easy submarine minigame. And I had several people comment and they were like, really easy submarine minigame? It's so hard, dude. I try every time. I can't beat it. Like, dude, just hit shoot. That's all you have to do. Just literally hit the shoot button and you win. I've always done the same thing. I always just go forward and hit shoot, and I win every time. Alright. This is a good place to stop. We are at the end, ladies and gentlemen. Next week will be the end of the Necrosis mod. I can guarantee it. We got Diamond Weapon, and we got Turks. And then we win. I'm not worried about any other boss after that. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a good time. And then we got some surprises after that. So next week is gonna be hype. I guess there's nothing much else to say. Cloud took a little bit of damage. Sid took a little bit of damage. Cait Sith died. Red 13's still alive. Yuffie took a little bit of damage. Tifa took a little bit of damage. We have Tifa with is almost perfect. Yuffie's almost perfect. They both have max MP. We got Sid about halfway dead and halfway MP. We got Cloud still hanging in there. And we have Vincent at full everything whenever we decide to get him. So we are starting to run a little low on characters, but again, I'm not too worried. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the Turks go for sure. He died with sadness. RIP. Thank you for the 77 bits. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for being here today. It was a blast. Thank you, YouTube. We have to say bye to you now, but I hope you enjoyed this week's episodes of the Necrosis Mod. I hope you had a fantastic holiday season. I hope you have a great New Year celebration, and we'll see you back next week. I think that's all I had to say. Next week, end of the Necrosis Mod, and then above and beyond from there. So thank you guys. I love you. Thank you for the support, and I'll see you next week for more Necrosis Mod action. And we might see something like this. Oh no. Oh no, the music fits!